Let's talk about follow up and why it's so important for high ticket sales. I see a lot of people kind of dogging on follow up, kind of saying that, people that rely on, especially long term follow up are either just not good at closing the deal. They assume everything needs to be a one call close. They're not good at objection handling. They are trying to, pressure every single person 100% of the time to always close. And if they don't, then completely forgetting about the prospect. And if that's what you're being taught, I want to encourage you to look at it from a different perspective. I want to encourage you to throw that thinking in the garbage because that's just not how a lot of things work. Think about it from your own perspective. If you were the prospect, every single time you talk to someone, if it had to be a one call close, if it had to be a long drawn out objection handling session, or they just ignored you and ghosted you and never followed up or spoke to you again after that. Now, there are times to obviously handle objections, help them overcome limiting beliefs, challenge them on their thinking when it's someone who's been stalling something they know they've wanted to do for a long time, for sure. But in some cases, that is not the best way to do it. And you will close a lot more deals adding in follow up when you're doing both of those things where necessary for each. From the sales reps that I've worked with, from the people that I've spoke to about this, the main thing that stops people from doing long-term follow up is either laziness or ego. If you want to make a lot of money in sales and you want to not have to solely rely on getting on calls, multiple calls every single day to see multi six figures a year, then follow up is going to be your best friend. I can't tell you how many times I've closed multiple deals in a day simply from follow-up, simply from sending payment links out to people that I spoke to 1 month ago, 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, because a lot of sales is about timing. And sometimes people get on a call and the timing just isn't right for them to buy, whether that's a logistical thing, an emotional thing. It can be different for people. But a lot of sales is about timing, and you want to always be top of mind for the moment that person is ready to convert. If you're someone who's only following up for a few days, only following up for a few weeks, or not doing follow-up at all, if you're missing out on that long-term continuous follow-up, which means you are following up and you're getting creative and you're keeping in touch, keeping top of mind in some type of way until the person says, hey, no, until they're flat out like, do not call, do not contact, or they buy, you are missing out on a ton of deals. I think it's statistically 20 to 30% of all revenue that comes in for a lot of businesses is just from pure follow-up or long-term follow-up. The companies that I've worked with, the teams that I've managed, we've seen around that number, 20 to 30% extra deals, 20, 30% of the deals close. And for some offers where we really had to work on the one call close, we've seen where 50% of the closed deals came from the second, third call or a longer term follow-up. If you're not doing it, definitely do it. I'll tell you one last story of a client that I worked with, and we connected Segmetrics, to the platform or to their, we just got all of their marketing stuff on this metrics tracking thing. And it allowed us to see the journey of every single lead that came into our platform or just came into our ecosystem in some way. And we had a sale jump on and buy almost immediately. It was almost like a lay down call. And obviously you can praise the closer. Hey, you're so good, did such a good job in discovery. But when we looked back at the journey, that person had been on the email list, had been going through, opening emails, receiving free gifts, jumping on webinars. That person had been involved in the process with the company in some way for 7 years. And this was the first thing they bought. Now, I'm going to tell you that every lead's going to take 7 years. Of course not. But that just goes to show that there is a lot of value in consistently nurturing your leads and consistently following up and consistently staying top of mind. If you're not doing it, give it a try.